my God, shut up. I want to eat them so bad. Alright, so today we got the 22 KLR up on the lift again, and we're going to be installing the SW-MOTECH crash bars. So we're going to go ahead and go through all that, and I'll show you guys how they go on and everything, and let you know what I think of them at the end. So I'm going to be replacing the factory crash bars that the Adventure model comes with. Just a little thin tubing, it feels like. I have dropped the bike on them a couple times, and it has protected my fairings just well. I do have the SRC skid plate on, so it'll be interesting to see if that gets in the way of these crash bars, but we're going to find all that out today. So I'll go ahead and pull the skid plate off and the factory crash bars, and we also have to remove the foot pegs because the new crash bars attach to the foot pegs. And here's all of our parts. We have our manual, all of our hardware, our crash bars left and right side, and if my autofocus would work, there we go. And as always, this guy right here, 3D Cycle Parts. He is the one I get all of my stuff except for the top case, the pannier racks, and the exhaust. Everything else I have done to this bike all has been from 3D Cycle Parts. Man, my bike is dirty. That's what happens when you have adventures on your adventure. Oh yeah, listen to that crunchiness, all that dirt. God, yeah, get a close up of how fucking dirty my engine is. Alright, 14. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see if the skid plate goes back on, because this skid plate comes with a new piece that holds it on. These two metal tabs right here are held on. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem. Skid plate. Alright, and there's your crash bar. OEM crash bar. You can see how thin walled the tubing on that actually is, if you look in here. I mean, they did their job, but I just don't like how they didn't really give the bottom fairing much protection. So let me get the foot peg off, and then we'll go ahead and mock up the other side, or this side, just to see how it looks on there. Off. And we get to take a look at the rubber mounting of these foot pegs of the new 3rd generation. So not only are they rubber mounted through the 2 bolt holes, they also have a rubber mount on the bottom here, which that rubber looks like it is replaceable, which is pretty nice. Alright, so you can come over here. We're going to take the bracket that comes with the SW-MOTECH crash bars and our 2 bolts that came supplied with it. Actually, there's 4 of these, but it's the one with the longer shaft on it. Go ahead and toss a little bit of Loctite on it. Not too much, because you don't want to be too much of a pain to remove. And I'm going to go ahead and just put everything through these. Make sure that the hole is facing forward. I'll go ahead and put these back in there. Put these on there. They are now 14s. Nope, they are 13s. Yeah, go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. You gotta turn the light on. Alright, so from the looks of this, the new crash bars use the first two holes, the one on the down tube, and not the one that is on the engine. So I'm just going to go ahead and place that bolt for the skid plate back in there before I try to put the bolts for the crash bars on. Alright, there we go. If I can get it lined up. And the same thing with the bottom. That's why you leave everything loose, so you can get things in there and worked and wiggled around. Don't lock tight or tighten anything until you're completely done installing everything. Now we're just gotta go put the other side on. And then we're gonna use the washers that they supplied, and we're going to reuse the factory nuts on those two front bolts. And these ones aren't going to need Loctite because they are lock washers. Now I'm not tightening these all the way, they're still a little loose. And then I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything else up. We still have a little wiggle room, and we can go ahead and start tightening everything else up.
And go.
Alright, so with the skid plate I have, which is the SRC, it comes with a different bracket, which is a little bit thicker than the factories, so I wasn't able to run the 4 spacers that the SW-MOTECH crash bars come with. So I went ahead and did not use those. So they do fit a little bit tighter up here, but they're not touching anywhere. So they'll still do their crash protection. It might be a little bit hard to get the plastics off with the crash bars attached, but it shouldn't be too bad to take these off. And that is pretty sturdy. So I'll just go ahead and tighten these last two up. Go to the other side and tighten the rest of it up. Oh yeah, and we can't forget our plastic end caps, which I probably should have put on before I put it on the bike. Alright, so we can go ahead and start getting our skid plate reinstalled now that we have everything nice and tight on the crash bars. So as always, use a little bit of Loctite on everything just so it doesn't vibrate apart on you. So I guess the short answer is yes, the SRC skid plate will match up with the SW-MOTECH crash bars. Now I did bend this a little bit in my bench vise to clear the factory crash bars, which used to bolt back here. for the SRC skid plate. But now that we don't have those, it doesn't need to be bent anymore. But I am not going to fix it. It can just stay like that. Okay, well, pretty sure you guys are wondering how it fares. So, this, guess we'll just give it the old dual sport test. Please like the video. Alright, well, I know it is a little bit of soft ground, but let's see. We got fairings are not touching the ground at all. Neither are the lights, and the handlebars aren't touching. So that's how they fare. I'll get it up and I'll take a look at everything. Never mind that cover being off. Guess it's a good way to check the underside of your bike, huh? All right, well, let's check. And that was a decent drop. I don't see anything bent. All that's still straight, nice and solid. So, I gotta say, SW-MOTECH crash bars, my lights are all still intact. Bearings are all still intact. I did have this snap, but that was from when I was picking it up because I pulled the handlebar and it drug across the ground. So that's not the crash bar's fault, that is my fault. But yeah, I'm happy with them. Alright, well, so there we have it. The SW-MOTECH crash bars on the 2022 KLR650. Now, I want to thank 3D Cycle Parts for helping me with all of this. Every time I need something for the bikes, he's always there. I constantly see him in the Facebook groups, all that stuff. He's always been super helpful. And what he has decided to do is, from the beginning of this video until the end of this year, he's going to go ahead and give a discount code, which you'll find down in the pinned comments, for the SW-MOTECH crash bars. So be sure to check those out, and always links down in the description for everything, from 3D Cycle Parts to my channel memberships, everything if you want to help support this channel. As always, I'm Full Throttle Junkie, and I hope you have a wonderful day.